it's also part of the future of work. How many of you do gigs online, remotely? Gigs. You get a gig, graphic designing, writing, photography. Anyone? Yeah? Only developers. Those are IT guys. Yes. So this is the guy here, and we are going to have 2 sessions, 2 groups, the creative economy and the freelancers lounge. Freelancers are all professionals who qualify to do any job anywhere. But Edward will add on that because they're experts in that. So let me invite the team. So we are trying to make it more interesting, discuss, and also learn from each other. Are there people that brought some products? People who make some crafts? Honey? Anyone? Yeah? Mtungamo has some products? Yes, so we request that whoever has a product, please bring it out and place it where we shall direct to, where the creative economy will be seated. And you get to learn more on how you can get your products onto the platform. So, Peter, you can come and...
Thank you so much, Anthea. My name is Peter Oumo. I lead the initiative called Tukole, which is an Uber of jobs. We help you connect with clients to see that you're able to do something. When I say an Uber of jobs, I want to mention that I deal with electricians, carpenters, fumigators, cleaners, and specifically blue collar, which is literally more of the practical hands-on skills. So that is what I lead, but I believe I am going to explain more and see how we can help you as young entrepreneurs to see that we leverage technology for you to do the hands-on skills. I want to stop here. Thank you so much, and Ronald will take over.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Ronald Tumhaire, and I'll try to use as plain English as possible. So for the guys who are coming for the fireside chat that I'm going to be in, we work with creatives or the creative economy, and what that means, if you can use your hands to make a product based on a particular craft, using your experience or something that you've learned, you are a creative. So I'll give examples. You could be making ghee, you could be making mats, you could be a musician, you could be making beauty and cosmetics products, agribusiness, you could be doing metalworks, woodwork. So as long as you can use your hands to make a product, you qualify to be a creative. And as long as you can be able to use your talent, that's in terms of, it could be your voice, and you are able to put out a craft, that's what we mean by a creative. So you could be a poet, a musician, a songwriter. So as long as you can be able to use your, let me say, head to be able to produce something, you qualify to be a creative. So for the guys who will be in my fire search, that's what I do. Otherwise, my job as Ronald, I work with Motive. It's a creative hub. And my role is to ensure that if you have a product, I'll give an example. If you make jelly, the jelly, my job is to, how do you get customers? How do you get market for your products? How do you get financing to be able to improve your products? And what type of trainings do you need to improve your product? That includes like testing, the approvals, and ensuring that your product is on the market. So we work with people who have started, and that's why the job Anthea does is very crucial, because for her, If you have an idea of something that you want to do, that's where you start. But for us, we start from, okay, I've made something, but now I need to improve it. That's where I come in. And that's what I'll be talking about. Mostly people who have products. They may not be perfect. They may not be on the market yet. You could be making sales with your neighbors. So I'll be talking mostly about that. How do you get market financing? And how can we help you to improve your products, basically? How do we pair you with mentors, maybe like in urban areas, to be able to give you guidance? If you make bags, how can you get mentors to help you improve the type of stitching? Are you using the right machines and stuff like that? So, yeah, thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Edward and I do work at the Innovation Village in Kampala. Where do I start? When Anthea asked how many people have gigs and have digital skills, I saw very few hands come up. By a show of hands, how many people, again, I want to reconfirm, have skills that are digital? You're a graphics person, you are a software developer, you are, I don't know, could be an architect, an accountant, but you do most of your work online. How many? But I think this is the wrong word. Yeah. Just a minute. How many of you are here? Because it will yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, you're quite a number. Now, the future is going to be very digital. I know many of you have heard of the emergence of artificial intelligence and machine learning. How many of us use ChatGPT? Huh? It's a buzzword everywhere. How many of us? Still, all right. Okay. So the future, in about 26 years, or even less, it's going to be extremely difficult for anyone to stay competitive and relevant in any field you do, whether you're a lawyer, whether you are an agriculturalist. If you do not embed technology and digital skills in the work you do, you all are here and you know the challenge that we all go through, job hunting. There are many work opportunities out there, here and outside the continent. However, they require that you understand how to use digital platforms in order to do work for people in other continents, in Asia, in Europe, even here in Uganda. I could be in Kampala, but I need a developer to work on a platform. But probably the Kampala people are telling me a lot of money, you know? So I go on a digital platform and I need something that is competitive. So what I will find are Indians, I will find someone from Dungamo, I will find someone from Jinja, I will find a Kenyan, and it is about price. It's a free marketplace where the most competitive person will take the job. So if you do not understand how to use and leverage those digital platforms, you are immediately excluded from this marketplace. The traditional jobs are going to continue to shrink. Many of the ones that are currently will continue to go away, and new jobs and titles and roles are going to emerge. So my name again is Edward Kandole, and I work with the Innovation Village. I work with the Freelancers Lounge as an initiative, but the Freelancers Lounge, so it's a community of people with digital skills. And so we meet, we have workshops and trainings, we network, and we together figure out how do we work together in this new emerging way of work. The Freelancers Lounge sits under a broader discussion we are having, which is called the future of work. It's a practice, it's a department, and it's really pretty much an informed perspective on the changes that are coming in the future The future can be as soon as tomorrow. And what those changes will mean for you and for the organizations that you're going to work for. Some of the things and the pillars under the future of work include flexible work modules, and that's where pretty much freelancing really comes into play. The others are technology transformation. You have heard of artificial intelligence. You have heard of machine learning. The other things are strategic partnerships, inclusion, and many others. So, if I'm to leave you with one word, it's important that you turn and convert whatever skill you have into digital. Figure out a way to transact and trade with other people here and across the continent, leveraging digital platforms. I'm happy to have a conversation with you outside on how this really can happen for you. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Edward. Yes, let's have the discussions when we get outside. We shall wait for the split when it's time. Just to take you quickly through, it was also community lead to inform all of you. I think some of you have participated in the different boot camps that were running around some of the branches in the country. And we would like to work with some of you that are interested, that are promising and are willing to pass on skills to support the Innovation Village and the Red Cross Society to have communities within your different branches and keep this going. So we shall be having more discussions about this. I just wanted to bring that out there. We have to activate these communities because we believe that young people who are economically empowered would do better and support Red Cross further to reach and to support Red Cross reach their goals within the country. Yeah, so the team, we also have Howard, who's our community manager here. I don't know if you allow him to say a few words. Howard, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Howard Mohwezi. I'm the community manager of the Innovation Village Western Region. My work is to ensure fostered conversations after some of these engagements, to track impact as well as replicate some of the programs from the head office. Thank you so much. I wish to extend the mic to some of our guests to say something today.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I am Edgar Mtungisa. Yes, the East African community. I'm the previous East African community youth ambassador to Uganda, but I also think I'm a freelancer. So I'm here for that session. We are very proud to be here.
Hi there, everyone. It's so amazing to be here. I am here with Innovation Village, and I'll be in the Creative Economy section. If you have any questions, I'm currently a student, so only here with Innovation Village on a short-term basis, but over in London as a student at UCL. So if you have any questions surrounding economics or philosophy, that'd be really interesting. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, some of you who don't know English, I'll just say, she's saying she's happy to be here and she's waiting to be in a creative economy. Now, why can't you clap for me? Amidst us, we have our national, our central governing board chairperson, and is going to be around with us. Then after 1 hour and 15 minutes, we'll come back and then he will speak. Sir, you are welcome. Just wave to the younger people. When he comes around, but your clapping is so villagetic, but no problem. Clap louder! Good. We have two things. We have creative economy, and we also have freelancer. Now, freelancer doesn't mean that you are going to be free, walk around. You are supposed to be in a group. Which this guy was just. Those who digital, who use the computer, who are interested in the computer. Some of you who are carrying phones, but you don't know the use of it. You are like me. So for me, I'm going to go in economy. Even in an aeroplane, I use an economy. So I'm going to... Okay, we have two groups. You have to choose where to sit. And they are going to be very interactive. I have sat in these groups. I know what it means. Even the 1 hour and 15 minutes is going to be very little for you. Can I start with freelancers? Freelancer. Okay, freelancer. Those who are going to be with him, you are going to sit under this tree. This one here. Put up your hands, freelancers. Don't worry, you will correct it from there. For me, I come from Bududa, so there is no way you will correct my English. Okay, put up your hand, those who are going to be in the freelancer. How many are you? That is 96 people. Approximately 96 people. You are going to sit in this tree, and we are all going to use benches, no chairs. The creative economy. Even when I am traveling in an aeroplane, I sit in an economy. So the creative economy will be at the first tree where we started the registration. If you are many, we'll keep on splitting you from there until we have small classes, because these guys are too many, so we will do. Those who are going for economy, put up your hand. Creative. Now, where do others belong? Are you going for display, or where do you belong? Okay, the freelancers move out. The economy people sit here for a while. We are also streaming live on your WhatsApp groups, YouTube. So things are, don't go there and open the teeth. Okay. So as the freelancers go, we also want to divide up this group also further. So the other group has gone, and this one again remains bigger. We want to have one group here, and another group will go under the tree.
The ones who make products.
Okay. The ones who make products will remain here. The ones who do services will go under the other tree where we started from. And we have said we are using benches. It's only you who are going to use. So can we have those of services go down? So we have 3 groups. One hour and a half, 15 minutes. Okay. Can I have the other group also go? Carry benches, chairs remain here. I know why I have told you to carry benches. Okay, the ones move here, move near, come here. The ones who are remaining in this whole, we are using this middle. Phones are supposed to go. Good. Now, which village do you come from? Is it Bududa? Oh, Manafa. Let me mention mine. Oh, Buginyanya. Okay. Good. Thank you. By now, all groups must. Those who don't want, you come to me. Okay. BYCs or delegates from your branches, please write correct names and you'll be going one by one to Ogwanga is outside there. Thank you so much. Let me hand over now.
Thank you very much. Just again to clarify, so for example, if there's a lady in town who owns a shop and she's asking for someone who can do for her shelves where she can put bread, the wooden shelves where she can put bread. So she'll look for a carpenter to do that work. And that type of work is called a gig. So if you hear the word gig, that's what it means that. So if you're a carpenter and someone says, oh, there's a lady in town, she has a shop, she wants you to help her do shelves. So when you do that work, you are doing a gig. That's what it means. So, but remember, much as you're making furniture for the lady, you are providing a service for her. So in that case, the app Tukole will help you. That's what it does. It looks for those people who have those type of jobs, puts them on the platform. So when you go on the platform, you're like, okay, there is someone who wants someone to go home and clean their carpets. This lady wants...
What does this simply mean? We are using technology to leverage on connecting job opportunities to the different service providers. When I say service providers, those are the categories and the trades I have mentioned. Electricians, plumbers, fumigators, cleaners, and the categories of sorts. Tukole as an online platform, I believe we have so far skilled quite many youth in health and safety, customer service, financial literacy, critical thinking, creative thinking, and seeing on how we can transform your life. compared to waiting for job opportunities. For now, why do we have to do that? Our objective is to see that we reduce 85% of the young unemployed youth in this country. And as we keep on speaking, there is a lot of unemployment which is increasing because young people in this country are unable to find a job. But as Tukole we are saying, we are going to help connect you to a job opportunity. In the long run, train you through some of the courses like financial literacy, which can help you start a small business. And how do we get out of the informal sector, which is currently very less structured and not even able to help you grow or transform your skills? In the same way, as to being an Uber of jobs, we are also saying you can start your business by, for example, starting with a small loan. Number two, how do you get to access a loan? Number three, how do you use your existing skill to employ any other youth within one given location? And we are saying you do not have to be only in Kampala for you to have this job opportunity. You can be in Barara, you can be in Tungamo for you to see that you have a job opportunity using our online platform. Therefore, this is an opportunity for you to think fast and think wide to say, if I am a carpenter, what resources do I need for me to start a business? If I am a plumber, how creatively can I go out of the formal sector? Today, I'll tell you, there are quite a number of hubs that have been put into place, including number one, the information is here to tell you, get a skill for you to start on your own. You can start your own business by building slowly by slowly using various techniques of things like saving. Number two, resource mobilization. Number three, how do you use your existing skill for you to build a database of clients? And the clientele can be built by you yourself, not by waiting. And we are simply saying as to Kole, you can start now by building your skill. Have access to the tools. Have access to building your database of clients. How can you partner together as a team for you to see that you're using your current existing skill to make some money? Apart from thinking that money is only in Kampala, even in the rural setting, there is a lot of resources and finances. But you also understand how sustainable is this. Therefore, to Kole being an Uber of jobs, we are saying we can connect you and link you to those job opportunities, beginning with you understanding, am I interested in this? How can I see that I am using my existing skill to start my first job? Number one, how many of us are plumbers here? Do you have any carpenter? Any electrician? Do you have a cleaner? I would like to ask a question. What kind of hands-on skills do you people have an idea of? Because I am a plumber, I am not hearing of a carpenter, I'm not hearing of a fumigator. I understand such that this is a conversation for both of us, not only me to speak and then leave. Yes, you do art, you do painting. We have a painter here. Sir, Wow, this is very interesting. We have someone doing art, we have someone doing concrete technology, but at the same time, a mechanic. When we are doing mentoring sessions, we usually tell you that where do you have the person in position as you're doing, how can you easily connect to the closest market for you to make that kind of money as what into concrete. How you come in cheap in to respond to this? I am simply saying you can use your existing skill to see that you're building yourself to make the money to survive. As Tukole is linking you to sustain yourself using that same skill. Number three, how do you have access to the market as a painter? What are you doing different in terms of creativity that different from people you are doing? For example, this country might have over 20,000 mechanics, but how different are you from those to see that you're doing something better than what they are? Number three, how do you expand your business from one location to the other? How creative are you as a plumber to see that you're starting something small from a scratch? Number five, do you have the money skills to see that you are sustaining the little that you have? Leaving alone that, with the little you have that you're growing, how are you going to see that you're creating another batch of people following you, that they are learning a skill from you? For this to be sustained and successful, it begins with you saying, my mind is very positive, in a way that you begin by saying, I can do this, before we get to the basics of saying start a business. Because in the process of starting a business, you may start by thinking, what do I need for the business? You list that down. But as you start the skill, have a positive mindset to say, I can start. And then you will get to the point of building the business idea as a plumber. You will get the business idea as a painter. This morning, when I came to a certain place within Barara, before we came to Ntunda, I looked at a painting and I got to realize, how can I transition this painting to be one of the best in Ntungamo, such that as I was going to be able to buy this in euros, but copying and pasting. But how creative can we be to see that we are doing something to be different from others? For my friend who is doing the tech, making books, making papers, it is a very good business opportunity. But the question is, as you're doing this business opportunity, how different are you to be with? If you're in the informal sector, how can I come with registration? And these are the things that we need to be talking about, and these are the things we need to be thinking about on a daily. And today I want to give you a task. Number one, if you want to start a business, I want you to get a small notebook. Write 30 business ideas today, but also write those 30 business ideas for the entire period of about 30 days. How many ideas will you have? When you have the total of 90, start reducing one by one and say, what passion and interest do I have in plumbing, in electrical, in art, in painting, in making blocks, in doing mechanics. We have reached a level of where we are leveraging on tech to say we want to start using machines and systems for making blocks compared to carrying those blocks, which is going to affect your back. In the same time, we have reached a level of where technology is helping us to use tools. For example, like a chiseling machine. There is a chiseling machine which you can use to see that you're taking a period of about only 10 minutes to chisel. The question is, how do you get there before you start building your business idea? Therefore, I am simply saying that the only opportunity we have is by starting now. And starting now, build a business idea. Think about resource mobilization. How do I get to the market? What skill do I have? Which people do I need to work with? What partnership is helping me grow? How do I use this partnership to transform? How am I going to get ready to go to the market? If I go to the market, how am I handling my customers? If you're handling your customers, how am I going to make sure that I am creative for the success of whatever I am doing? Therefore, as someone doing the handicraft, I want to promise you, if you look at and understand the basics of the things that I am talking about, I believe you're able to transition your business. By the time you bring in tech, you should be able to transition from one step to the other. My friend who is doing mechanics, if you're a mechanic, how are you able to think about creating a small app, for example, which is going to help a client to the existing for the repair? You need to start thinking, if I am doing mechanics, what extra service am I offering to my client? I'll give an example. When we were doing mentorship for one of the young people, I told him that as a focus on only one service or activity, because he was into confusion. The same guy was doing mechanics. I told him, focus and only do repairs for only lights. Every car they bring, focus on the lights. And this is what he did. Today, as I speak, the guy is able to repair between 5 to 6 cars for specific cars. And out of one car, he's able to say, I am earning 250,000 for the both of the lights. Sometimes we get into confusion and we want to do everything. We are not able to do everything to succeed unless you have multiple resources to say that I can do a number of businesses, and you're able to create teams. Let me give an example. If you want to start a school like this and you want to start a university at the same time, you should be able to have the teachers in place. Therefore, what am I simply saying? As people doing, or as youth doing hands-on skills, you should be able to start thinking of, how can I get out of the unemployment by using your current existing skill. That is why we created platforms like Tukole, to see that we are an Uber of jobs, but also to see that we are helping you transition from what you're able to do, what you're not able to do, and how do we help you get better if we are not able to do it as Tukole. Today, we might have people here into the hands-on skilling, but the honest truth is they belong to where the freelancer economy is, because we do not know where we belong. But for now, if you're going to start your business, start by thinking what idea you're going to build. And the simplest I have given you, write 5 business ideas per day, or choose to write 30 of those per day. And then you start thinking, how am I going to grow into this business opportunity for you who is doing painting, we think that painting is only done in schools. If I were you, I would choose to focus and say, me, I am going to go to every Catholic church and try out to paint Jesus. Do you know how many Catholic churches would call you for that opportunity? Therefore, you must create your own market by thinking creatively and going out of the box. Success belongs to the people who want to go out of the poverty. When you sleep, you remain poor. That is why most of the rich men sleep for fewer hours. And for us, we sleep for longer hours. At this point of time, I want to stop here and okay. In a short while, I want to stop and give you a chance to ask a few questions. I don't want this to be my conversation. I want this to be interactive. I want this to be interactive. Please.
Mechanical engineering. Now, mechanical engineering is broad. You can do 5 jobs depending on how you set them. I said doing concrete technology and at the same time doing mechanical engineering. So, I said I'm Mark Omiot. Actually, I'm from Palisa. I do mechanical engineering, still a student. I started a business in concrete technology. You said somewhere we are using, it's a world of machines. So actually I have a company that I'm using boys, which I employ like 9 of them who are doing the work. So my technical part is I handle the machines. When they break down, when they need service, need the technical advice, it's me who handles it. Then I would also want to ask, like now, if I want to expand the company to have bigger machines, produce more products, because I have challenges. People make orders and I take long to produce them because I have small machines. No, a startup thing is always hard. Can I have an opportunity like and add up capital in that way, since I'm also helping the youth to pick up and learn more skills? And in the other hand, they're also earning a living. Am I doing something in the community, or I'm doing it only for myself? I would want to know that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question. Maybe I'll keep responding to them one by one. First and foremost, I want to appreciate you for what you're doing, because employing 9 people in our country, Uganda, these days is not easy. But also, you're using your current existing skill. Regarding the loans, or for you to get more capital, I will have to link you or relate you to Ronald, one of the colleagues we came with. He's running a platform called the Virtual Factory Network, where they are able to support you in terms of financing. So this simply means that after here we shall have a conversation with him to have a breakdown. His Virtual Factory Network is specifically not the way you see money lenders, but we have an option of where we can extend resources to startups. Are we together? So we will have that opportunity under the Innovation Village, but specifically the Virtual Factory Network. Also, as you're getting to analyze your business and to expand, I want to ask you to go back and understand, number one, your operations before you expand. How much money are you making? When they're making those blocks without the machine, how fast do you produce this? In terms of the space that you're using, are you going to hire, or you already have existing space? Besides that, you need to understand what are your expenses and what profits do you anticipate to get. Once you have that clear analysis, I want to suggest you can expand. But before you get answers to those questions, I want to suggest don't. First, make sure even that product that you're producing, you have a number of clients. Sometimes we want to expand because, for example, you have got a grant, but it's not advisable until you get to confirm that you're really producing a product. I want to give an example of Cafe Javas. Even when you're in Tungamo, you know Cafe Javas, which is in Kampala. That is a product which has really made its way. So if you make your blocks and all over Mbarara and Western Union, you're able to make branches within the different locations. Yeah? Any other question? I want us to interact.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. My name is Wenepa Joshua Joseph. It is so interesting. My question is like this. Why is it that you can have a business or you can have the resources that takes to start a business? At the end of the day, you find that your business collapses. Yet you have resources, you made the research, you do everything that it takes. Why is it, and how can I maintain?
Repeat.
Okay. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. My name is Wenepa Joshua Joseph. My question goes like this. Why is it that someone can have a business or can have the idea of business and have the resources that it takes to start the business, but at the end of the day, you find that the person, you find that the business ending up collapsing? And what mechanism that you can give me to start the business or like to maintain my business for further future? So that's my question.
Thank you so much for that question. I want to begin by responding to the first one, where you're saying you have the idea to start the business, but at some point you cannot. Number one, successful businesses take quite some time in the thought process. What does that mean? We always want to start business, but we are just copying the business ideas. We are not being creative to start our own. Number two, I also want to say that if you have the resources, that is not enough for you to start a business. You need to look at a number of factors before you start your business. If it were me starting a business, or I'm interested in starting a business, I am going to say, what is my business idea? And I will give an example. If I were in Barara here, I would use banana peelings for me to make food for the animals, because there's quite a lot of bananas and there's a lot of quite peelings, and that would be my business idea, for example. But the question is, do I have the money? Yes, I have 6 million to start. Where am I going to locate my business? I am going to put it in Ntungamo. If I locate that in Ntungamo, who are my existing clients? You need to start thinking of, if there are existing clients, what kind of packaging am I going to use? Therefore, you need to analyze everything before you get to start. And starting a business is not about the money. The money is an addition for the business. It is about the idea. How are you growing that idea? How are you transforming that idea before you get to implement? You need to learn about things like, how am I marketing? How am I going to sell my product? After knowing how you're going to sell your product, how am I going to see that clients are happy with my product? One of the reasons why businesses fail these days in Uganda is because we are running to start because my colleague has started. Number two, we are running to start because we believe you have the money. You also need to understand, what is the regulatory framework for things like, I need to start a business. Do I have a trading license? Do I have a URSB? Do I have, a number of things like the documentation? Do I have a receipt book? Because you can find a client who needs to do this, who needs to do a business with you, but you cannot even document. So this will help you track your business. Therefore, the advice I would give you, number one, go and begin by analyzing the idea that you want to start. Those days businesses would happen that way. But also you need to look at the era where in which you are. These days you need to be very skeptical in starting a business because there are very many regulatory frameworks in this country. Register with URSB if it is a company. If it is not, get a trading license if it is a business for people to know. Number 3, how are you marketing your business? Put a small signpost that I sell plumbing materials. Number 4, leaving alone the signpost. Can you get to TikTok and start speaking about your business as a plumber? Can you put this on your WhatsApp status? Number 3, can you send emails to whoever you have? Number 5, can you load money on Paka and you call some of the clients who have registered with you? You're able to grow your database and see how you're transitioning. And then number 6, you also need to look at things like the location of your business. If you want to start, for example, a farm, you wouldn't want to put your farm in the middle of Mbarara town because a number of things will happen. Government is going to throw you out of that place because this is a city. You need to know your location. I was telling one young guy who was starting a saloon, and this guy was putting a saloon about 60 kilometers far away from the main town, but the entire place has only farms. So my question was, who is going to be your first client? The farmer. But the hair cutting is not like food that you eat every day. Some of us do not want to comb because culture will tell us that when you constantly comb, you will not able to. Do you know about those cultures? Culture is also another thing. Some of us think that you can never start a business. Since your grandfather has never started a business, you will never start a business. Those are myths. Culture is also a problem, where they think that our young sisters here, their role is to only go to school, get the knowledge, and get married. Things have changed. These days, women are much stronger than men, and the women who are here, I believe, are much stronger than the youth who are guys who are here. Is that true or false? Very true. Therefore, as you're stronger than these youth guys, I want you to go and start a business and you prove the point. Yeah? Another question? Gender balance. I'll come. Okay, let's give him a chance because he has put up. Please go on, go on.
Thank you. My name is Abdi Hakim Hassan. I'm the youth president for Kenya Red Cross. And I think first to thank you for the beautiful presentation and the support that you're giving to us as the entrepreneurs. Secondly, the challenge is financing. We have the idea, we have everything, but the only problem is how can we start? So is there a way that you can give us, as your organization, the Innovation Village, a link that you can give us where we can follow on daily basis whether they are fundings, from different organizations, or is there also another platform other than this that we can have where we can bring all the entrepreneurs from the East African communities together? Then you can invite, the big bosses, those who normally have the money, who are ready to support us. So those are the two questions I really wanted to ask. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Youth President from Kenya. I am happy to welcome you to our country, Uganda, but also happy to mention that we have a platform, which is the Virtual Factory Network. We should have had this combined, me and Ronald speaking about the same, but because of the numbers we had to split. Virtual Factory Network is one of the platforms under the Innovation Village where we are able to give you things like the raw materials, but that one you pay in form of loan. And we also work with a number of partners like Opportunity International, where we try to see that we extend loans to people who are doing hands-on skills, but at the same time blue-collar labor. As to Kore, I want to mention to you that through Opportunity International, we were able to give about 100 loans each youth getting 5 million to start up a business. However, we got to realize that this wasn't sustainable. When we gave the first loan of 5 million shillings, after our analysis of the first 5 people, the first person had married a wife, the second person had bought an iPhone, the third person was thinking of going to Dubai to do cleaning work. The other 2 went back to school. As I currently speak, one of the cleaners is becoming an electrical engineer. As I speak to the other who started a business, they completed their loan. Therefore, we go to transition into, we give you raw materials, do the work, but no cash through the virtual factory network. Regarding the links and partnerships, we really encourage and grow this. We are into the discussion with Red Cross to see how we can partner together to bring in that kind of leverage for us to have resources here and there. But there are various ways of raising money for you to start a business. Number 1 is consistent saving. Number 2 is business pitching to the different opportunities that come along. I want to give an example. If you went to Rotary, they may not give you the money, but they will give you the technical skill. Number 3, you can do proposal writing. Number 4, you can do you can use resource mobilization techniques. For example, if I have 5 of these people doing art, we can choose to say every colleague of mine should be able to collect 50k. When you bring 200 together, it's a resource mobilization technique. Number 5, you can take a loan from the bank, but I don't advise that so much for someone who is starting. Number 6, use your skill in form of labor for you to raise some money. That's what I usually advise for the young entrepreneurs before you go for big money. Some of us want to start businesses with 10 million shillings, but you have never managed 300,000 shillings as a person. That business will not be sustainable because you lack the money skills. Are we together? Therefore, the financial literacy we train will still speak about a number of these things. But what I advise the youth, begin by saving, start small, and then grow big. I am happy to come to Kenya one day and also tell, when do you want me to come? Okay, thank you so much. Another question. Okay, how old are you? Okay.
Well, my question is, me as a person, as a teenager, I do creative writing, but now, how do I get to publish my first book? Because I just finished it last year. I started writing it in the COVID-19 pandemic, and it was basically about the youths, the teenagers who were messing up in that period. I was really touched and felt like I can create a change through writing out something that somebody will read and get inspired. But now after writing, I've kept it. How can I make it to publish it? Because my dream lies here. I also want to become an author, whereby somebody will sit and say that Wanyanya Gift is my favorite author. That was my question.
Indeed, Gift, you're a gift. My response to that is, I may not give you exact answers of this. However, you may have to fall on the other category where we have the freelancers who do that kind of online digital. And yeah, so it's supposed to be, it's already ongoing the other side. But because, like I was saying, that career mentorship is quite a difficult one in our country. You find someone goes to do a course because the father did the same. Another goes to do the course because they feel they have failed. Therefore, Gift, what I'll advise you, we will have to shift you to the other session where we will now link you to Edward, who should be able to support you. Because at this point of time, you may not fit into this category. But we will shift you to the freelancers launch. You should be able to at least get some of this information on how to continue. But I also mentioned that you need things like proofreading to understand what you wrote, to correct things like grammar. After correcting that, things like the copyright and all that kind of conversation. But the other side should be able to help you at the freelancers launch. There was a gentleman who had a question here.
I hope all of us doing well. My question is humanitarian and business at the same time. First, I'm Professor Bahafeb. I'm a social worker from Sudan. I'm also a member of the Red Cross Kambala West branch. My question is, what is the important steps I supposed to follow when I developing economic engagement projects for refugees youth, including the host community youth?
Jurisdiction. But the idea is you need to access a space where you can sit and concentrate on the work. So this can be your own room. If it isn't your own room, it can be a co-working space. At the Innovation Village, I believe they accept freelancers and independent worker to come in because there is stable and fast internet. Because if you're digital, you need to be connected to to other people. So the online community is a marketplace. So you need to be online. It's like a highway. I set up my business on the highway, maybe a restaurant, because I know while people are passing by, they can make stopovers, have some food, take some water, rest a bit, and continue. It's the same way if I'm connected to the internet. I'm connected to an entire marketplace. So if you are part of a co-working space, you access stable and steady internet, and you have a place where you can sit and focus on work. That is what innovation hubs give us. The one in Bar and the ones that will continue to open up probably under Red Cross or even in other formalities. That is because, so you will access the co-working space because of that, the stable internet mainly. However, you can still do the same thing in your own house. Instead of simply paying rent and then you leave for work during the day, come back in the evening to a space you haven't spent the entire day at, but you still pay the entire rent, but you spend 10, 12 hours away from the house. Your own house can become your new office. You have a space, a corner, you set up a table and a seat, and you install internet. A router right now, let's say I can pay 150,000 and Zuku MTN can come and install their router. There are Wi-Fi which I believe are even cheaper. The idea is to be connected to the internet most of the time. So if you can afford a router, you install the router. And it gives you unlimited internet. I mean, it's unstoppable internet. Or you can pay, I've seen Airtels, MTNs, they have Wi-Fi, 30, 40, 50, affordable. But the idea is to have some internet that is stable all the day, such that now suddenly you have an office space. Similar to someone who goes to office in the morning. Now you have your own office space, but in your own house. Suddenly now you have internet. You have a skill, you have your laptop, you have your phone. Now you need to set up. How do you start? That means you need to learn. I won't go into digital platforms, but it's a research I want to put back to you. So there are different platforms depending on what you do, whether you're a developer, there are the Fivers, the Upworks. If you are in accounting, there are platforms of accounting. If you are a creative, there are many, many platforms where creatives are on, and people that need the services are on as well, and it's a marketplace in which money is exchanged. So don't think about money or such an economy or such an opportunity in terms of the way things have been happening. Before, you have to wait for one client. You deal with one client, or you're employed somewhere and you're given one task at it. If you are part of the digital gig economy, you can do as many jobs as you can. The only limitation is how good and how fast, your competitiveness. because the Indians and other people, someone will set up an account, but they are an entire team. They're a team of like 10 people doing that same job. So they compete with you. So if you're to do it, you need to be as competitive or have a group of people. You set up an account and you do work efficiently. You can get actually a lot of money. Many people fend off such opportunities and they earn pretty much more than the standard average job. That one I can assure you, with the flexibility to work when they want and where they want. Someone can work literally anywhere. So if I'm to answer that, you need to start with your skill. You need a laptop, a phone, a place to work. It can be a co-working space, it can be your own house. You need stable internet, which you can install depending on your capacity at the time. You need to be connected to a gig platform, and it's good as well to set up, if you can't set up your own personal website, you can set up a portfolio or social media these days. If you set it up well and use it properly, it can be actually a website. LinkedIn is a good website to have if you are in the, I don't know, a professional in that realm. Twitter may not be the best, but you could use actually any, because if you use your social media to put your work, to showcase your work, when someone needs to see what you have done, you simply take them to that. That's why it's important not to use social media just for, you know, I won't call it useless, because we need to unwind a bit all the time as people. But use it to promote yourself and the work that you do. If you don't have an actual website, when someone needs to see the work you do, you send them your link, the link to your I don't know, your even WhatsApp itself. You can set up WhatsApp business, you know, catalog. I don't know. You can do these days. There's so much flexibility. You don't have to be very rigid. But that's what I would literally do, and I would set up all this. I don't feel like it would take me a lot of time. All this can take me maybe a few hours or a day, and just like that, I'm online and I'm trading. You can be as flexible as you can. Some payment platforms are not very conducive for us here, but you can figure it out. There is always a way around it once you get started. If you're dealing with nationals, you can use the mobile money, you know, the normal systems. If you're working with an international client, when that time comes, you will know better. But there are some which are giving us some trouble. But when you get there, you cross the bridge. You can set up accounts in different countries, and then there are others which you can always learn as you go. But the idea is to start. The idea is to start. If you're part of a community like Tiavimbara, boom, you will have a client immediately, because when now you are closer to other people, you network, you tell them what you do, those very people become your first clients or first referrals. I don't know. I feel like I've exhausted that substantive. Yeah.
Yes, I think that's pretty well. But
Yeah.
wanted to know.
I'd even forgotten I had it.
Yeah, mine is one. Yeah, so wanted to know. There's something about this whole gig economy.
Yeah.
And people say it's volatile.
Yeah.
So how do you handle? Because now, if I finish one gig,
Yeah.
right? So if you contacted me and I worked on your gig from home, and that gig is done, how do I move on to the next one?
To the next one.
Or where is that platform?
Yeah.
Or where do we find that? If you could explain how the system works, where we are always connected, but it's easier to get a gig after another gig.
Again and again.
Yes.
So we actually have a community, and it's growing. If you go to FLX .africa, you are able to become a part of our membership. You apply, and you know, we understand your needs and where to start to support you. Okay? FLX.africa. You find a lot of information about what we do. If I'm to respond to the second part of the question that my brother posed, one of the best ways, other than being a part of a community, to get a second client all the time is to do the work well. Like in anything, the best way to get clients is by referral. I do a good job for you, yes, you refer another client to me. The same happens for that very client. The same happens all the time because I deliver my work in time, I deliver quality output, I have very good customer care. Because when you work as an independent worker, as a freelancer, you have to remember that you are actually a business as an individual. So what we do under the Freelancers Lounge is to create, to be what we call it, business modeling you. We create an entire business and a business model around you as an individual. The same way you walk into a business, there is a receptionist, there is a lounge, and then the secretary logs in your appointment, and then you get probably attended to, and then after the service has been done, you know, there is a payment, there is you receive, they invoice you, and then you pay, they give you a receipt, then they follow up and check up on you. The same way a business operates is the way you're supposed to operate as an individual. So that's what we do under the lounge, is to teach you how to do business as an individual. If I come to you, if a client comes to you, you're supposed to get that entire experience. Don't say, you gave me, I'll do the service, then they pay you, don't even receipt them or anything, don't follow up. You're supposed to understand from the beginning to the end of how business operates, such that you do it competitively. I think that answers it. I don't know. In case it's not clear, please, you could pause. You could pose a second question. But I feel like I've exhausted it.
I think my question is that
Yeah.
should have from you people.
Yeah. Yes. We're all here to learn. Yeah. Yeah. What is the essence of which? He's posing. I think there's a misunderstanding, but you could help.
Yeah. Okay. So the first session we went through was for you to have a glimpse of what you need to do to make multimedia possible in what you do. For example,
Step from step.
I can put it here. So, for example, I gave an example of a person who had a skill in baking.
Yeah.
You can't sell your skill without providing people what you really do. So the reason why I told you to install CapCut, I know I can't teach you CapCut here. Yeah. Okay? But internet has everything we need to learn. Okay? So if you have that application in your phone, when you're going to scroll to go to your TikTok, maybe tomorrow, you will see it. That's why I said install it. You will see it and be like, what does this do? And I wanted it to be like that pressure, that small pressure for you to learn how it works. You get? Okay, thank you.
I think that's answered, right? Yeah. It's nice.
Okay, so my question is about online work. You talked about having a space and compare having a physical, going to office vis-a-vis working at home. What are some of the side effects of working at home? Because working at home, there are long hours, and also sometimes if you are home, we don't leave home because we want, but we are pushed because there is maybe a paycheck, but at home you will now have your own freedom. You may be like, if you feel a little bit not well, you go back to bed because you're at home.
Yes, yes. I agree with you. Freelance work has come and remote working has come with a lot of some disadvantages. One of them is how should I term it? I want to arm such that it doesn't scare anyone off. So one of the pillars under the future of work is mental wellness. So, you know, when you are isolated, so it comes with isolation at times. You are met with other people. Humanly, we are very social beings. We thrive off that interaction. That is why I started by referring people to co-working spaces, because it's a good start, Cherry, because now you connect with others, you grow like the gentleman there, you grow with others, you learn from them. By the time you say, now I can do it at my place, you understand the game and you know how to do it well. So what do you do? Because you'll be isolated, you have, because remote work is about integrating, there is no work-life balance. Because like you said, you wake up in the night, your client needs the job done. You have to get it done. It's about integrating your work into your life. So you work, you enjoy the experience, because your work and your life are one and the same. But you don't allow it to control you or to take away your relationships. You become very intentional. You need to exercise. You need to go out to network. I have a friend, I agree, he literally works from home. He earns a lot of money. He's actually my neighbor. But I rarely see him. To see him, I have to call him and go to him. And never, you know, I tell you, you know, I will literally have to make an appointment. You rarely see him because he's always indoors. But what does he do from time to time? He's a biker. So he always goes for rides, he takes breaks, maybe rides across, you know, they have their groups. He tries to go for walks. But he did that because he had realized the depression on him that was due to the isolation. So he took steps to start connecting with others, to find a sport, to find something he does for fun. So it's important to always understand that you need your life not to tilt away and you need your life back. Don't simply go into it without understanding the consequences or the disadvantages. You see, remote work is about integrating your work into your life. Your life still remains. I have friends, I have connections, I go out, you know, but still I work. So I can even work while I'm out with my friends. On my phone, I complete, you know, editing something. You know, I invoice a client while I'm on the road. So such that I still retain my life, I still retain the freedom, I'm still happy, but the work does not control me. So it's something that is, it's important to understand that that's a real issue and to avoid it from the get-go, from the very, very beginning. To know that your real life is supposed to stay how it is, but integrate all the work and do it as one piece and enjoy the experience. Hope I answered that.
Yes, I think you did.
Yeah.
But also, I think
You could add something.
Yeah, I think also practically, because from the first part of the question, was that you can easily get distracted.
Distractions.
Yes, distractions. These ones are there. But I see that our people do, I don't want to work remotely, majorly. They actually have an office space.
Yeah, and an actual, a room that is entirely that.
That's for work. And when they are there, they will not attend to
anything. Nothing.
When they are there, it's office time.
Yeah, it's actually a physical. It's an actual office space. Your laptops are there, your CPUs are there, everything you need, your mics, and you're at work.
Yeah, so you have an actual working space, and there are no distractions there. Just take some breaks, then take some breaks. But they're all programmed, Now
Yes.
It's business. After that, they go to
other things.
Also, I could add on. Do not misunderstand freelancing for only working remotely.
It's not just that.
Okay. You see, a photographer can have a studio. You have your studio. You expect clients to come and you take pictures of them. Okay.
Yes.
But then you can choose to work to be a freelancer. Sorry. So that means for you, there may be other people who get jobs and you come and work and you work on this one, or
have another thing you do as you do this. You freelance.
Freelance.
Okay? It's not only that you will have to be in your home on your PC and working, you get? So this is the model and it's the future. Okay? I've seen many companies, for example, who knows BBC. I'm sure you guys have watched something about BBC. BBC has a new model. It has laid off all workers and it's running on a freelance-based model. You get? So it has like a lot of people like in UK, in India. You only capture something and it's only that when they need you, it's when you do. So if you go and search about them, they are now working on a freelancer-based model and it's the future. Okay? So the earlier we adapt to it, the better. Okay?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Thank you so much. You have a question from the DJ.
Where is the DJ? This one?
Yeah. No questions. Everything is covered.
You can ask them. Just hold and ask.
Thank you so much. My question has to do with artificial intelligence. We are living in a world that is moving on artificial intelligence. So actually my purpose for coming here, I expected you people to talk so much about it because one person who has developed so much interest in it. I make videos using AI, deepfake images. I also make logos, anything to do with graphics using artificial intelligence. So I expected you to give me more hint on that. Thank you.
You want to speak on that?
I can speak on it, but I think I should speak on it later. Mine is more into AI itself.
No, I have one. Yeah, so I don't think we could exhaust the subject of AI here. We can't even start to scratch it. What you have done is to start and to keep learning and to keep adapting. But sitting down and you can't even begin. However, so the future of work is digital and a lot of emerging trends and a lot of emerging technologies. AI is AI today. Tomorrow it can be something else. The goal is to learn all the time, is to keep adapting. It's important to note and to mark that artificial intelligence will disrupt almost any industry. So it's important for, I truly believe, for anyone to just acquaint themselves, to understand what really it means and how to, even from the very basics, as simple as ChatGPT, sometimes you're using Microsoft or in your phone.
There is a saying in Baganda that at the moment here in Uganda we have the youngest community, and in order for actually the government to be able to understand us as youth, they need to involve themselves in the activities that actually unite us.
So it's very important for government officials, for policy makers to come and be part of this event such that they spearhead and they are able to come up with policies and identify the implications of whatever is happening in the freelance and software development community to the impact of not just the development community but also humanity in general.
it's a big mistake. It's important to learn all the emerging trends, to understand and master digitization as much as you can, and to keep improving. Otherwise, change comes, some people lose jobs, others
jobs.
yeah. So to remain relevant,
You've got to learn. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
So thank you for attending this session. I think we will give it back.
Okay, it's coming. I think that's for listening. I don't think there are more questions.
Okay, so
There is a saying in Uganda that at the moment here in Uganda we have the youngest community, and in order for actually the government to be able to understand us as youth, they need to involve themselves in the activities that actually unite us.
So it's very important for government officials, for policy makers to come and be part of this event, such that they spearhead and they are able to come up with strategies, to come up with the right ethical policies and identify the implications of whatever is happening in the freelance and software development community, to the impact of not just the development community but also humanity in general.